Thank you, Amy. Coming to Columbus this week, the Contemporary Theater of Ohio debuted their latest production this weekend. 10 TV photojournalist Bram Folk has a look inside the rehearsal of the powerful play Skeleton Crew.
You keeping this from me? It ain't right and it ain't fair.
Don't you tell me nothing ain't fair. It ain't fair, it ain't fair. Life ain't fair. You think I don't know what I done? You think I'm some kind of victim?
Skeleton Crew is a brilliant play by Dominique Morisseau that is about 4 automotive workers, and those automotive workers learn that their plant is closing. And so we watch as these 4 navigate their dreams, their hopes, their desires for both their future and the present moment. It is a story about Black people, but it's a story that's so universal. And I think that that's what's so brilliant about what Dominique Morisseau does in Skeleton Crew. She tells the story of Black working class people, and that experience is the experience of white working class folks throughout America. So it's a story about African Americans, but also about the working class.
I don't hardly see no benefits.
Was a time when you wasn't even alive in the unions, dummy. Wasn't nothing but the mule of the industry.
But I ain't got to smile and grin when I hand it over. I feel like grit my teeth. Grit my teeth.
It comes at a really important time when we're thinking about the previous recession. And so I think about this in terms of Ohio and the number of plants that closed within Ohio, the impact that closures like this have on communities, like many of the communities in Ohio. So I think it's a moment, it's a really important moment for us to be investigating and looking back on a relatively close moment, a moment that is so close we can touch it, but far enough removed that we can think about processing the experiences of the characters and the people who have faced closures that are parallel to this. I wanted to tell a story about the working class, a subset of folks who often in popular entertainment are forgotten about, and whose dreams and whose stories are just as interesting, whose dreams and stories are just as important for us to investigate. Stories that are about people who work with their hands, people who maybe didn't have the opportunity to go to college and have college degrees, but made choices to build their communities and their lives based on an automotive plant. And then what happens when that automotive plant decides, we're done, we're leaving? And what happens to the people who have vested their dreams, their families, their lives in these places and spaces? And so an opportunity for us, I think, to think very deeply about the power we actually give companies as we think about the development of our communities. Skeleton Crew, I think, gives us an opportunity to have and jump into some of those conversations.
The Contemporary's production of Skeleton Crew runs through March 17th at the Riffe Center in downtown Columbus. For links to showtimes and ticket information, just look for this story on our website, 10tv.com.